Okay, Assalamu alaikum. So, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. We are going to start chapter 5 today, a very, very, very important chapter in this book. Actually, the core of this book, because it gives us the positive discipline tools, which inshallah we will be applying with our children. And let's see how it will go. So, Sister Faiza, okay, inshallah, you can start reading it.
Positive discipline tools. In this chapter, we cover 49 positive discipline tools. Which tool of a parent uses will depend on the situation, temperaments of both the parent and child, and of course, the age of the child. Some tools are applicable with all age ranges, and some are age specific. All the tools discussed have been mentioned in other books, including Positive Discipline A to Z, Positive Timeout, and Teaching Parenting the Positive Discipline Way, and the recently published Positive Discipline Parenting Tools. The 49 most effective methods to stop power struggles, build communication, and raise empowered, capable kids, written by Jane Nelson and two of her children, Mary Nelson Tamborski and Brad Ainge.
Hmm.
We have described the tools and given examples based on our own understanding and experience. Tools marked with an asterisk are not specifically positive discipline tools but align well with the philosophy. For easy referencing, tools are listed in alphabetical order. In a nutshell, we invite you to focus on connecting with your children. We believe that connection is a foundation upon which the family unit will weather life challenges. There
Hmm.
will be challenges, for that is how Allah ordained life. We have created you in constant turmoil. Our invitation to connect is not for loving without limits. Our invitation is for loving your children while being able to set respectful boundaries. We believe that implementing positive discipline consistently leads to the following: collaborative teamwork, respect for all members, no matter how young they are, every member having a voice that is heard, children discovering their strengths, children believing in their abilities, children nurtured to be the best adults they can be, children feeling comfortable coming to parents with problems and concerns.
Hmm.
Children learning self soothing strategies, children
Hmm.
capable of dealing with disappointments and failures, parents who are less frazzled by daily life, parents
Hmm.
who direct their energy to what is effective and under their control, positive family culture, problems that are addressed through solutions, a family that enjoys the company of one another, a strong family connection even when children leave the nest.
Okay, so we'll just stop here. In the beginning, this is very important thing the author has said. Which tool a parent uses will depend on the situation, the temperament of both the parent and child, and of course, the age of the child. So we have been through, all four chapters, and this is our chapter number 5. We already have read about temperaments. We know about this, how to handle like the situation, now the age of the child according to the developmental psychology, where we have read different stages of development. So now, why I'm emphasizing again on this is because when we are going to perhaps have some practical discussions and tasks, we might feel like, we might forget this thing and we might use one tool and we feel like this is not helping my child. So before we come to this, and because we are here as a group, reminding each other. So if I'm saying this, like agreed upon deadlines is not something my child was understanding, then maybe Faiza can remind me, or what age is your child, or what is your child's temperament? Is this age appropriate expectation from a child? So all these things we have to keep in mind when we are applying the tools, right? I know
Right.
Sister Raina is new with us, but Sister Raina, if you find any difficulty throughout, you can ask and you can always go back to the recording, which is on our website and also YouTube. So this will help you understand. And also you can read the book, of course.
Sure.
Then over here, these are the expectations after this applying the positive disciplining tools. We all want this, right? Collaborative teamwork, respect for all members. And when we are saying respect for all members in the family, It also means the respect of the youngest child in the family, right? So we usually think, and I was few days back really pondering upon the culture, and because I study, like I'm a student of Quran as well. When I was doing this, I don't remember what I was reading through the Quran. I don't remember the exact verse, but I was just thinking, when in Quran we are mentioning again and again about forgiveness and being, for example, Allah loves Sabirin, Mohsinin, and when we read about forgive people, and if someone is doing bad to you, be kind, or you, all these things, whatever we read in Quran. Okay, so we keep in our mind, the picture coming to my mind at least is when I am dealing with some adult, for example. It never comes to my mind Quran is for children as well. Like its rules applies to the children as well, right? So you should be showing the same patience which you are showing to your maybe sibling, your spouse, your colleague, and it also applies the same to the children as well. They also deserve respect, right? So this is what was coming to my mind. So respect for all members, no matter how young they are. Again, every member having a voice that is heard. Also, a young boy, a young girl in your family has a voice, need to be heard. Discovering their strength, believing in their abilities. Children nurtured to be the best adults they can be. This is what we want from our children, right? Self-soothing strategy is very important because as a mother or father, I do not want I am always, after my children, helping them. Sometimes I need they are able to do it themselves. Whatever the task it is, whatever the tantrum they are going through, or anything like this. Dealing with disappointments and failures, very, very important. When their parents who are less frazzled by daily life, like whatever stresses I'm going through, my husband going through, the work, the world scenario, whatever, we're not putting this on the children. Parents who direct their energy to what is effective and under their control. As a parents, we also need to really understand this. There is not everything we can control. There are things which we cannot control no matter what the outcome, right? Positive family culture, and then problems addressed through solutions, family that enjoys the company of one another. Really important because I was like this, and Alhamdulillah, I helped myself and find out peace now. And I come across parents who come to me and then they talk when it's summer holidays coming or Easter break coming or anything coming, and they're really overwhelmed because children are going to stay at home and they are not enjoying their company. They are instead very, very overwhelmed and anxious. Could be any reasons, right? Strong family connection even when the children leaves the nest because eventually they have to. But what will help them come back to you, to see you and have this connection with you, right? So these will be the all outcomes we're expecting through these positive discipline tools. And they are in alphabetical order. So yeah, inshallah for us to revise through. Assalamu alaikum, Sister Sadia. Welcome.
Walaikum assalam. Thank
Are
you.
you? How are you, sister?
Sorry, I couldn't understand what you said.
Then I was just saying, how are you? You're doing well?
Alhamdulillah, I'm doing great. Just the final
Mm.
exams are going on of kids, so
Oh,
that's why
oh,
we are quite busy here. All three of them.
oh, must be, must be. Okay, hats off
Mhm.
to you and good luck.
Thank you so much.
Okay, Faiza.
Okay, so the first one is act without a word, nonverbal signals. This tool is about using gestures to communicate messages that have been already communicated through words. Examples of act without a word: pointing to the child's backpack when it is thrown in the middle of the hallway, sitting next to and silently hugging your teenage daughter when she's crying or sad, pointing to the seat belt when your child has not put it on, walking away when your child is yelling and screaming at you, extending your hand, palm up, as you wait for your son to give you the cell phone, Sitting in the car, waiting for your child to leave for school in the morning without screaming, yelling, or threatening. When it is time for prayer, calling the azan and starting the prayer without waiting for everyone to assemble, just as it's done in the mosque.
Yeah, I can't emphasize enough on the last one. What are your thoughts on the last one? We start from the
Um,
last one first.
I think they're never gonna pray.
Seriously,
I can do mine, but subhanallah.
yeah. Like how many times we are like after it's time for prayer, it's time for prayer. Get up, it's time for prayer
I think the thing which can help them is if we read Salah together for some time and then
together.
we apply it,
Definitely.
that will definitely work. But if we are doing it separately, then it
Mm.
can't work that way.
Yeah, it can't work.
Unfortunately, timings don't match here, so
You're right. Wherever you can. Actually, when we are talking about, people like in our religion and in our culture, so not in our religion, in our culture, the people take this religion as a, when a child is 7, ask them to pray. I mean, encourage them to pray. When they are 10, be harsh on them to pray. And people take this one hadith and like really, really focus on this when your 8-year-old is not praying, for example. I always ask parents, please do not focus on this, the wording of hadith, and take it like this. Imagine the whole society at the time of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and then this hadith. Is your home like a society of Medina, where it wasn't a thing to do. It was the lifestyle. The salah was the lifestyle. Everyone was eventually getting up. Everyone was eventually going. A child born there is seeing this every time. So when such child is going to the age 7 and you are then inviting them to pray, at most of the time, if they are already in this environment, they don't even have to be asked because they're already seeing this and perhaps already starting to follow you, be with you. If there is a culture of, perhaps fathers going to masjid and taking their children, they are seeing this as a normal routine, and then you don't have to ask them. But if it is not, and then you are saying you must pray, and then they are 10 and you are harsh, and perhaps you are starting to think, and very like unfortunately, but as parents most of the times we are not thinking of salah to be done by our children as one act of hereafter, but instead we want the tick list to be done. So I can be satisfied as a parent, like my child has prayed. If you are building a foundation where your child is grown up, because you remember the outcome where we are seeing them to be, adults, where it was children nurtured to be the best adults they can be. It was fourth or fifth point in the first paragraph. This is our aim, right? My aim is for my child to be able to pray when, for example, he's in the university away from me, living with his friends, and he's praying there, right? So this is the thing, I need to nurture this thing in my child, right? If I just wanted to make a tick box and check box because I am satisfied, I have done my best, then I might get overwhelmed and anxious. But if I'm taking the other step, looking forward, what I'm doing, I can be calm or I can ignore if my child is missing one salah when he's 8 or 9, because I know this is not something happening in terms of, for example, in a bigger picture, right? So when my child is balig, my child must be praying is my main goal. So this is where, words should be less and action should be more. So the first discipline tool is very, very important. Act without a word. Also, why do you think we should be using perhaps less words or no words when we are perhaps giving a command to a child or we want something to be done from them?
I think it takes less energy and more work.
Yeah, could be this. This is from our
But
our.
I
Hmm?
have a question, but I think this is something which needs to be worked on before. Like, if you have laid the foundation, then you can act upon it. If you haven't laid the foundation, you can't act on it.
Hmm.
Because what if you start giving them the gestures one day, I don't think they're gonna ever understand them or even act upon them.
Yeah, yeah. So,
But I think that's more draining because
yes,
you have to
yes,
do the extra effort then.
yes. So again, we'll go to the first paragraph, right? Everything depends on your child's age, your temperament, their temperament, and as you said, these things where the foundation is there or not, right? So our discipline tools, positive discipline tools in our toolbox, we are we are just making a toolbox now, and we are putting all these tools, right? And we
Right.
will take them out when and where needed. So, this thing, if you are thinking, I don't have such foundation at the moment where I will be just doing this and my child is listening, just keep this tool in your toolbox until the time will come. Okay. But
Sure.
what you can do now is, for example, walking away when your child is yelling and screaming at you. This can happen with all of us. So, of course, I used to be like this, taking it really, really personally, like how dare a child to disrespect a mother? And yes, they should not. But at this moment, the child's brain is not working, right? So you cannot expect from them. But yes, definitely tell them later on, bring the thing and talk to them. This was a nice way to talk. Also, when I asked why you think less words are important, it is because the more words we are using will flip the lid of the child, means their frontal cortex will not be engaged. Instead, their emotional brain will be more engaged. And then they are not able to listen. The words we are speaking is just like, hitting the wall, going back. The more we are speaking, the more they are not taking it. Even if you are using less words, for example, the seatbelt example, you're not pointing, but you just say seatbelt on. That's it. Take a bag. Instead of saying, get up, take your bag, wear the shoes, all this statement. Bag, please. Minimum words. But of course, you should be, have this foundation and they should be looking at you, be with you. If you're standing there, for example, the mobile thing, they are playing video games or other things, just stand here. I'm here. You have 5 minutes. Give me my mobile. Give this video game done. Just stay here for 5 minutes and then just show them I'm here. So, yes, your energy is less consumed and they will get a straight message. Few things we can apply, few things we may need to work on. What do you think? Any sisters, Sister Javeria, Sadia, any reflections, please?
Yes, actually, and from the this point, it came into my mind that my child often protests about it. That when I am doing something wrong, you are getting into a very elaborative talk, and you will say just thing. You will keep on talking, 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 and it makes me more angry. So yes. I think less words and gestures.
Yeah.
And yes, just yesterday he was attending his Quran class, and I kept in mind that he doesn't like because I get explaining to him that you don't talk to like this, and then I would also present him the alternative, but he is not in a mood at
Hmm.
that time when he is misbehaving or
Hmm.
doing things differently or on an emotional level. He is not in
Hmm.
a state of mind where he would seek advice from me. Although in intention was that I am giving him alternative, that don't speak like this, use this word and that word. But
Hmm.
he is not in a state of mind. So yesterday he was attending the Quran class, and he muted himself because I was there, and I was. I was like unintentionally, I was interrupting him. Like I
Hmm.
was more conscious, and I was explaining him that Kari Saab is, saying this thing, saying this
Hmm.
thing. I thought
Hmm.
maybe he is not able to listen.
Hmm.
That's why I was making things easier for him. But he gets upset. He got upset,
Hmm.
and he muted himself and said, "Why are you talking like this? My
Hmm.
mic is on." And I actually got very hurt and took it personally.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
I then, because I took it personally, so I made a gesture and with
Hmm.
my eyebrows upward and, like staring with anger. and he just got it that mom got upset, mom got get into red zone. I am saying it nowadays that if you speak like this in the bitter tone, in a rude tone, mom will get into the red zone. So I put a red pencil beside me and I make him see that I am in a red zone. And he just apologized to his teacher and said, "Excuse me, I have to talk to my mother." And he apologized to me then. He said,
Hmm.
"Okay." Like I didn't say anything. I was like
Hmm.
gesturing him with a red pencil that I am in a red zone and I was signaling him with my eyes.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
I was also surprised that how come he just get it? And in previous instances, if he does this, I would like narrate a hadith and I would say, this is not the way,
Yeah.
respect for elders and
Hmm.
and this and that, and he would keep his hands on his ears that I don't want to listen anything.
Seriously,
So
yeah.
it's good. You
Hmm.
explained it and it came into my mind and I connected the dots that less words and more gestures can
Hmm.
convey the message.
Yeah. The more you speak, the more child shut down. And eventually, when they are little, उनकी
And the
मजबूरी है फिर भी
thing
सुनना है.
can connect. I can connect that same thing happened with me yesterday, as Sister Javeria said, because um, I was because my son was saying something harsh words to me. So I think I started lecturing, and that's the thing that bothers the kids. And the same thing my son used to do, that as Sister Javeria said, they put the hands on the ears and all that. So I think I should follow this because I'm not doing this. I start saying the things that you should not do this, and start lecturing, you can say.
Lecturing, yeah. This is our
So
सबका यही काम है. with Desi moms.
Or we
Dua
or
so
to
we
our
that
parents,
start
Sister Javeria gave
we
us a
start
very good
telling
idea.
them that yeah, we start telling them that we are doing all the things for you and here you are being disrespectful
yeah.
and this and that. I would make him count everything I do in the last few hours, that I made you this dish, your favorite dish. I was this and I was cleaning this and I don't have any time of me, and there you are, being ungrateful and disrespectful. So they don't
Um,
want to listen that.
I rather don't actually count my things what do for my kids, because what I feel is that if the parents say this, sorry, I'm not going to offend you, Sister Javera. That's my perspective. That I usually find it that it's our choice to bring them into this world.
Hmm.
So if we do something for them, then we should not make them grateful to us,
Yeah,
because
I agree, but
every parent
it's
does
the
this.
old pattern in my mind
Yeah,
with
yeah,
which I was raised. Maybe it's something
Hmm.
back of the mind that
yeah. Because our
our
parents
parents
did.
used to do
Yeah.
this. But
All the
Yeah,
time.
our
so
parents did. So I
yeah,
really feel bad it now that if I say these kind of things to my kids,
yeah,
they will feel the same. So that's why
Hmm.
yeah,
I usually don't say whatever done for them, but rather I would preferably you can say it in another way, like if your father works for you and for this and that, and you are not doing this, but not actually making
yeah,
things difficult for them. If I
Hmm.
say that if we as a parent are doing
mm,
these things, then every parent I feel is trying to make good
Hmm.
for their
mm,
kids
mm,
in whatever effort they can. Either that
Yeah,
person can afford
definitely.
or cannot afford, or it depends, but every
yeah.
parent tries to be best to their kids.
Hmm.
So that's
No,
why I feel that,
I am trying to break that pattern now. I would say even
yeah,
he started saying me like yesterday he got a home activity from school where I was supposed to ask him who is your best friend and why. So I asked him who is your best friend. He said my best friend is you, Mama. I was very happy and I said okay, why am I your best friend? So he said me, you are a provider. You feed me, you give me clothes, and you cook for me. And I thought, no, it's not like this. That's my
Mm,
responsibility. So I
mm,
explained it to him because I was doing this in past when I
mm.
was not, so
It's a
much
very positive
into
that,
all this.
so sorry to
So
interrupt
I
you,
am
that if
trying to
he
settle
says
it
that
down
you
now.
are his best friend, that it is a very, very good thing. It is a very plus point that I really appreciate that. Whatever in his mind, and whatever perspective he said so, but he said so. So that's more important.
But I was actually, second guessing him. I said in my mind, maybe he's just trying to, get,
Make me happy
impress me. Yes.
because
But
as
still
a
feel
mm,
happy. You should feel happy. I feel that you should feel happy in whatever mind he said so.
mm, because we are always trying to please people and things like this. All of this is our own patterns, over explaining, over pleasing. They are all our patterns, and the children are not born like this. They are born on fitra. But yes, once they start to seeing all these things around, then they are very smart, and then they learn the things, and then they do what we are doing, or sometimes they're not doing, but we are thinking because this is how we are. So everything starts with us. But yeah, it's very good to have this discussion and your reflections on this topic. So we all agree, less words and more gestures. Okay, so shall we read the next one? Agreed upon deadlines.
So agreed upon deadlines. This tool is commonly used as part of the tool's problem solving, page 134, and follow through page 104. However, it can be used alone too. When parent
Mm,
and child both disagree on issues that involve time, this tool becomes useful. It is about being concrete and clear. Examples of agreed upon deadlines. At the end of discussion about chore assignments, a parent asks the child, what do you think you would do? If the time limit expressed by the child does not work for the family, the parent expresses and requests a different time limit. If bedtime is an issue, parent and child engage in a conversation until they are both clear on what time works for both.
mm,
When the parent wishes to discuss an emerging issue, parent asks the child what would be a good time to discuss and then follow through at the designated time.
mm,
When going out together, the family discusses beforehand how long the trip will be and the deadline for leaving the house.
mm,
When a young child is asking the parent to come and play, parent hands the child a timer set for the designated time and follows through when the timer goes off.
yeah, that's very interesting. I use this timer things with my young ones. So yeah, you people go on first. Any reflections?
And I think, yes, we have to reparent ourselves, but it's a very hard work. Parenting our children is easy, but reparenting ourselves is the hardest thing.
You know why parenting children is easy? Because we actually think we can control them. Actually,
That's
controlling
true.
them is easy, but parenting them is not easy. Because, for example, usually, my husband, all husbands are same. Sometimes he's not coming to the point of how to deal with the child or something. And then he's like, for example, bedtime. It's a bedtime. Beds on the beds quickly, and there's no connection, nothing, no discussion, and the job done. They are on the beds. So his job is done, parenting is done. But what are the impacts of this? The way you should be, putting a child to the bed or whatever you are doing. So basically, you are controlling them, and you're by the control, whatever you wanted to achieve is achieved. So you think you are doing good, but actually not. So basically, it's very difficult, Faiza. You are right. That's why parenting is difficult. That's why it is the most difficult job in the world. That's why this is so much reward in a hereafter. And that's why this is, I would say, like being conscious in your parenting journey, you're almost doing the job the prophets have been doing, nurturing children, making them, someone in the world where they are able to be, fulfill this duty of being Khalifa on the earth and also doing something for their hereafter as well. So it's not easy. It's not easy at all. And there are lots of things, we are doing side by side parenting ourselves, then people around us who sometimes do not understand us, then our parents, then our siblings, and then our children. And we end up like a zombie mummy, maybe, with depleted energy. So we
The
must take care of
hardest thing
ourselves
is
as
that
well.
when no one is happy, not
No
even
one
the
is happy.
children.
Yeah, Allah, no
Everyone
one is
has a
happy.
problem.
Yeah, exactly. So, one of my friends, last few days, she was discussing something like this, and she was like, of course, having a hard time in her parenting with her relation. And she was like, I
Okay.
don't think so. Anyone is going to understand me ever. So it's not my husband, and then I feel like not even my daughters will be there. So what I'm even doing. And it happens with all of us. Sometimes it happens with me. I have like sometimes I feel like I'm not doing my I have started my career. I'm at home, so my son is with me. He's my responsibility, and I'm doing all this. And sometimes, of course, he act out or something like this. I just feel like what I'm doing all this for. Is this the thing? I can go out. I can earn this much money in this much hours, and I'm sitting here. But that's not the thing. So we have when we have a bigger vision, then we have these things on us. This is my responsibility, and we need a group, a tribe, who keep encouraging us, and that's how we do it. You're not going to do it alone, never. So yeah, agreed upon deadlines is something which I think everyone, every parent at every stage goes through this. Whether you are going to a park, you want them to be ready. It's schools in the morning. It's just simply going to the bed. How do you usually take these things, sisters? If I asked you the deadlines, for example, going to the bed or finishing the food or anything, how do you usually manage this at your home?
Well, I believe
Um,
that no, yeah, it's most of the times it's a chaos, and it's not because they don't follow it, it's because I didn't make that boundaries with them. Well,
Boundaries.
if they don't do it on time, I just
Mm.
let them be sometimes. And when I'm not in a good mood, they just get in trouble for not doing
Mm.
it. So I think it's not because of them, it's more because of my own self.
Yeah, it's mostly because of us. Yeah. Yes, Sister
I
Javedi?
use timer thing. I use timer thing. I recently started using it.
Mm.
Um, but I'm sensing that it's the consistency. If you follow it,
Mm.
I was at the fault because I was trying to do things. I was giving deadlines that, I will pick you from your garden and from your place at whatever you are playing with after 5 minutes. So
Mm.
my kid doesn't have the sense of the time.
Mm.
He's 6.5.
Mm.
So he would say after every minute, "Mama, 5 minutes हो गए हैं. Mama,
Mm.
is it the time?" So I'm started timing it. But
Mm.
after the 5 minutes, he would say, "Oh, I was all the time busy in, waiting that one would be the 5 minutes. So I didn't play very well because of not the timer." And the meltdown starts. But like
Mm.
consistently, last week I took this and I was very active that I would
Mm.
have to make a boundary because it was
Mm.
always like I am going in the room again and again, again and again, and then I will get passive aggressive, and I will
Mm.
say to the complaints, all the complaints to his dad, and then he would come, and everything is chaos. So I
Mm.
did it only for 4 days, and
Mm.
he melts down
Mm.
after every timer since
Mm.
last 4 days, but it's
Mm.
the duration which is decreasing. Like
Mm.
for the first time, he cried like for half an hour and
Mm.
he was so grumpy. And
Mm.
the second time, uh, he did cry, but for a lesser time. Then third
Mm.
time, and then fourth time, he was just getting here and there, stomping his feet that it's not the rule and it's this. And I kept calm and I kept quiet and I said,
Mm.
yes, yes, I know. I just provided acknowledgement. So
Mm.
I thought I was thinking that he is being difficult. He is
Mm.
being difficult. He doesn't listen. But it's me who was not providing him with consistent boundary.
Mm.
That's the
Mm.
thing.
Yeah,
Or
this is very
and
important.
and in the past, even if I put a consistent boundary, it was not out of empathy. I didn't
Hmm.
provide the
Yes.
validation or acknowledgement.
Hmm.
Sometimes I overdo it, or
Hmm.
sometimes I felt maybe monotonous and robotic. Like
Hmm.
it was not a warm boundary.
Hmm.
So maybe
Hmm.
he felt like it's a wall. So it's
Hmm.
I think if you do these things consistently,
Hmm.
then and number one, the consistent, and number two, out of empathy and acknowledging
Hmm.
the feelings and this and but keeping
Hmm.
the firm one. Like
Hmm.
I am saying it, so it's done. So it
Hmm.
is. I am sensing it. Like it's good.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, mashallah, like
It's
I would say it's
working.
very good improvement, mashallah. Yeah, to be able to, understand this and then gradually take this, and you have seen change already in your son, like how he was crying and then he's there. So when I was doing, my own parenting courses in the beginning, and there's something my mentor has taught me, and that still sticked with me very beautifully. She said we are all the time talking about boundaries with the children, and it should be boundaries, and children cannot work well with the boundaries and all and this. But she said you cannot just as Javeria has mentioned the word empathy. So she said you cannot make a child understand boundaries just for the sake of because at this time there was still there's lots of trend like you should have your me time. As a mother, if you are not able to be take some time for yourself, then how you're going to do so. Set some boundaries with your child. They should know this is your time. They're not coming in your room and all this, right? So she said, if you're not giving this child the most deserving connection they need from you throughout the day, because you are their mother, and then you ask for this boundary, then this is not going to happen. They will definitely come to your room again and again, whatever you are doing, and they are right to do so because course you are the mother, why would they not come to you? And then at this point you're not demanding a boundary, it's actually a sort of punishment for a child not to be with the mother. So if you are going to have set certain boundary, be sure like your child's cup is filled already, you have spent some time with them or whatever it was. If even if it's not on a daily basis, whatever, weekly or something, a child should not feel deprived of parents love before you ask for a boundary. And second thing, which I just forgot, there was one more thing came to my mind, but I just forgot. So yeah, yeah, I just remember now. So in another webinar series, I was learning this. She was saying, when you're putting a boundary with a child, and you are saying you need to do this because I said so. So replace it with you need to do this because I love you, and it will shift a child's brain. Why? Because I am a mother and I love you and I understand what is better for you. For example, about around screen times, right? It's not about play or something because children they love to play and nothing harm in this. So, for example, screen time, for example, junk food, you are saying no to, for example, they had pizza already in this week and you can't say yes to another food and they're insisting and you're saying no and it's a boundary and you are saying no because I love you and I care for you and I can't let you have this. And they will cry and you will let them cry and you will hold them and you will acknowledge them, but you will not give up. Right? So these two things, very important. Sister Sadia, your reflections on deadlines? Anything you want to share with us?
It's honestly very, very difficult because obviously I told you earlier that I have started doing these things quite late. So I find them difficult. Obviously, it doesn't work out every time, but sometimes yes, and sometimes they are grown up and they actually argue on many things. So
Hmm.
sometimes I keep quiet, and sometimes I give up, and sometimes I get
Hmm.
you can say annoyed about
Hmm.
all these deadlines. Yes, it is quite difficult to make it because, as Sister Faiza said earlier, that we are not able to set the boundaries, so
Hmm.
that could be the reason. And secondly, as you said, that me time, and I usually don't bother about the me time anymore
Hmm.
because I feel whatever time I could spend with them it would be my me time if it spent well, because
Hmm.
most of the
Hmm.
time it's about do this thing, do this, that, and that, and that, and that's all. So
Mm-hmm.
I feel that if that connection time is there, then
Mm.
it's about my me time as well.
Yeah, of course, it depends on your own perspective. Everyone has their different, me time,
Yeah,
as you're
exactly.
saying. Yes,
Definitely.
definitely. For example, perhaps, when your children are in school in the morning and you are already by yourself and you can have, some break from the children. And when they are home, you don't want to have your me time. You want to be with them. This is your connection. And this also, helps you give your sense of perhaps um, what you say, like you are doing something, achievement, sense of
And
achievement. You are
I feel,
getting.
sorry to interrupt you, sister. And I feel that me time when the kids are in the school is just for like 30 to
Cleaning.
40 minutes for my nap time, not for that's the
Oh,
me time.
good, good. Yeah.
Because I honestly do not have much time. When they are in school, I have a lot of work to be done.
Mm,
So that's
I
why
know.
the only 20, 30, and sometimes very few times it goes to 40 minutes, and that and nap time. That's the me time for me
Power
nowadays,
nap.
because yeah, power nap.
Yeah, no, this is very much needed. And yeah, sometimes this is all for me as well. But now I'm not even getting this. Life is getting busy and busy, mashallah. Fair. Okay, so basically we have done these two tools. I don't want to go to the third tool. As I said, I will take this chapter very slowly. The third one is also big one. So, we want to absorb what we can and apply this and then move forward. Non-verbal signals and agreed upon deadlines are the two tools we have done. I want to see and get your feedback how you think you are going to apply this in upcoming week before we meet next time.
Inshallah.
Yeah, definitely. Inshallah. As I can
Inshallah.
speak for myself, I will give you feedback on
Mm,
both of them.
mm. So, do I need to set anything, any task sort of thing, or I think you guys can do it? Perhaps take a paper, do some tracker, record, or anything. Maybe write down how many times you have used nonverbal signal for what thing. Something similar for the deadlines. Maybe you wanted your child to be in the bed at this time. How did you manage? How many times you failed? How many times then you are successful? We meet after 1 week, so even if not 7 times like not 7 days, it could be like 3 to 4 days at least.
Yeah, you should send this task in the group as well so that it will be reminded whenever we open the group.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, and I think for the agreed upon deadlines, we
Hmm.
should pick up at one thing only, to which we
Hmm.
can put our kids according to our own needs in our own home.
Hmm. Like for
Like it
example. Hmm.
shouldn't be four different things
Hmm.
uh, where we start abruptly trying to,
Hmm.
give deadlines to our kids. It
Hmm.
should be one problematic thing which would be different for everyone.
Everyone, yeah, I get your point. Like, you mean instead of doing it all at once and your child is rebelling, then take it slowly. Take one thing at a time.
Yeah,
For example,
one
if it's
by yes,
hmm, if
yes,
it's a
yes.
bedtime, maybe for you, it may be school time for me. Then we are doing like this. You can have your own thing or your own activity or whatever. Okay, so anything else, Sister Faiza? Any suggestions from your side?
Yeah, I
Um,
think it's good. We'll practice it, inshallah, and that will let you know how it goes.
Hmm. Um, for us who have like more than one child, maybe, uh, maybe with each children, like each child, you can, as Deveria has suggested, have some one thing in mind, and then with the deadlines, I mean, with the deadlines,
Well,
have
I
this one
think,
thing.
we
Hmm.
can do that. Like, for example, it's just one rule, but
Huh?
it applies accordingly on every child. For
Hmm.
example, you know, bedtime routine.
Yeah.
Time can differ
Yes.
according to their
Hmm.
ages, but
Hmm.
they have to follow their set routine.
Set routine. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. This is a good
So
one.
that's one thing we can do.
Hmm. Hmm.
And
Yeah.
with Salah one, I think that's one thing I really have been trying to do it for a long time, but inshallah, I will implement it. That read salah together.
Inshallah. Inshallah.
So
Inshallah.
I think in that way we can follow that.
Yeah.
That
And when you're going to do it together, Faiza, you are inviting your children. I'm not sure, do you have any what we say, any azan clock, any
yes,
what
I
we say
have.
this? So you hear the azan in your home, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
when it's azan time, with Maghrib you have to do it as soon as possible. With other salahs you have a bit of time. So when your children are home because they are must be in the school in the morning, so you can say like for example we are hearing the azan and after this minutes we will start our salah, and then as they are saying, you will have your own prayer mat and maybe also set their prayer mat on side, and then maybe just start and then see if they are going to be with you. Maybe you can say once or twice, but while you're doing all this, only thing I would ask you to really really remember is do not get very much into what I would say. If they're not praying, if they're not coming, do not feel like a failure or it's not working or something like this, or
Well,
do
the
not
thing is,
fear.
with salah, it's like it's a continuous struggle. So one
Yes.
way or other, we have to get it done. So if
Yes.
they're not doing it this way, they have to do other way. The thing is,
Hmm.
I feel that, when you are doing something as a family,
Hmm.
children want that connection from
Yes.
us.
Yes, they
If
do.
we do something as a family, they do want to do it. But problem comes where parents are not on one page, and then
Same.
they take advantage of that situation.
That's
If
very very
I'm
true.
at home, I want to read Salah together with my children, they will definitely do it. But if
Yes.
they see their dad is home and he is
And not
reading
doing.
it in his own time, in his own
Hmm.
space, then
Hmm.
they will take advantage of, okay, I will read it with Baba. I will read
Yeah.
it later
Yeah.
on. Yeah, I will read
Yeah.
it in my room. So I think
Yeah.
that's where the problem comes.
Hmm. You
The
are very
important
right. You
thing
are very
is,
right.
that at least we can do what we can do.
What
At
we
least
can.
we
Yeah.
can try
Exactly.
our best. Allah.
Exactly.
If
We can
not
only
all
do what
five,
we
at
can.
least we can maybe do one or two salahs, inshallah.
Exactly.
Even that's a big
Exactly. It's most
achievement.
of the time, in fact, I would say 99% it's never children, it's us. And with the with the spouse, it's always like one is understanding and there is not understanding. So we have our own struggles, especially the things with the, when we say the connection of the children with the Quran and we want to make them from Ahlul Quran and this hifz in the home and all these things we want. But spouse is not on the same page. The moment you start to doing some little Quran halaka in your home, 5 minutes, 10 minutes a week, you will see a very tremendous change in your children. But only if we do. And we can try our best and we can make dua from Allah and continue to make this dua.
I want to
Okay.
ask
Hmm?
something. Like my child is 6.5, and I want to start introducing namaz once again. When we were in Pakistan, he used to go to masjid with his
Hmm.
dada and his
Hmm.
father. But
Hmm.
now it's he doesn't even pray or for a
Hmm.
single prayer. But
Hmm.
I want to introduce. Once you said that introduce one salah at a time,
Hmm. Hmm.
like let him choose which
Hmm.
salah he would like to pray.
Hmm.
So I'm trying to ask him every day about it. He would say, "No, I will tell you when I will get 7. It's still
Hmm.
6 months."
Hmm.
So
Yeah, leave it.
should I try to should I try now, or you know,
No, no, leave it.
uh,
Okay, with the prayer thing, you want to
yeah,
like invite him. Okay, you can still try this when you are going to start your salah. He has a prayer mat of his own.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay, put the prayer mat beside you and say, Wali, I'm going to start my salah. You can join me if you want. That's it.
yeah,
So if it's
yeah.
coming, it's okay. If it's
I
not coming,
did
it's
it,
okay.
but not consistently. I did it,
Hmm.
but not
Yeah, it's
so
okay. Sometimes you do,
consistently.
sometimes you don't. And with the salah also, like my son is also 6.5. He will be 7. So we are already starting to talk about it. He has chosen his salah already. But we are saying like because we are going Pakistan, so we are planning to do there. I used to do a celebration with my children, so we will do like a little cake, and he's going to cut it. So for my middle one, we had this prayer mat cake, a very beautiful prayer mat and tasbih. I will do something for him, so give him this salah certificate, and you are officially 7, and you have received this gift from Allah. Your teacher is about to come. Okay.
Okay,
And
that's very
then
interesting.
your gift is
You know,
from
Sister
Allah.
Javeria, I think just one thing. I did it with my children, that choose one salah and stick to it. But I think the thing where I lack was that I wasn't firm enough with that one salah. I think let him choose whichever salah he wants to choose, but then be firm on it that he has to do that. Because
Yes.
with my kids, I think I learned with my elder too that, if they choose something, it's important that they need to learn that, if you decide something,
You're welcome.
you have to take that responsibility for your decision. So choose it
Yes.
wisely. I told them that whatever you choose, choose it wisely. Because
Hmm.
Asar Salah is the easiest one for them. When my son
Yes.
was choosing, I explained it to him that, how you have to read it, all rakahs and everything.
Hmm.
He chose
Mm-hmm.
that I want to read Maghrib, but then
Hmm.
when the time came to actually read it, he always found it hard to read that because it has more salah, more rakahs. He used to say,
Hmm.
no, okay, next day he will say,
Hmm.
I'll read Asr, and then one day he will say, no, I will read some other. So I said, no, you have to choose wisely and then stick to it.
Okay, over
Hmm.
here, like my children has chosen Maghrib, and we started with furs only. So three furs only. And you can do like you can ask them to do sunnah as well. So it's not a problem. But you have to keep one thing in mind, Sister Faiza. When a child is choosing, a child's brain is still underdeveloped. And the way we think is, you are choosing it and you have to stick with it. Okay, this is good as a parent to tell them, and as an adult for us. But I will just ask you something. For example, when we start something and we want to do it, once we start, do we not get inconsistent? Many times we do
We do,
get,
but you
right?
know what? This is something, I did it with
Struggle
them
with.
because from my experience, I
Hmm.
felt that, if we are giving a choice,
Hmm.
we will always choose the easier one.
Hmm.
Like, for example, when I was a child, I never had that choice to leave
Yes.
sunnahs and nafal.
Hmm.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
used to read full salah.
Everything.
But
Yes.
when I learned that, okay,
Hmm.
what are the, compulsory
Farais
sunnahs and,
and yeah. Hmm.
sunnat-e muakkada, and then
Hmm.
what about nafal and everything,
Hmm.
then I felt it through my experience that, my rakahs started getting less and less and less.
Hmm. Hmm.
So with children, I feel that, okay, when it's forced upon them, not with like that a young age, like six or
Yeah.
seven
Not at
years,
6, 7. Yeah.
but at least 8 or 9 years old, or maybe 10 years old, they should read their full salah. Because if at this age they just choose to read first, when they actually have the responsibilities on them, they will never be able to read their full salah.
No, this is the fear. This is the fear
Well,
factor coming from
this
us.
is something I learned it from my own experience that when
Actually, yeah.
it gets
I,
really
I
hard
get your
at times,
point.
even when
I
I
get your
watch.
point. I get your point. But I have been through such, uh, you know, um, I have seen such people as well who used to do lots and lots and lots, and now they don't even pray, right? So this is the whole another story. But only thing is whether you do salah or sunnah first or not. The only thing is, what
At
I'm
least
saying is,
first should be done.
yeah, first should be
Uh,
done. But
First should
have
be done
have
at
this
least. Yeah.
mind, this thing in your mind always. When they are 7, they choose one salah, and they are still a child, and they can be sometimes sort of forgetting it or missing, at least for first few months. At this time, you're not putting a pressure on them because you have chosen it, you must do it. Be compassionate towards them. Namaz, to be honest, salah is all about compassion. The more love you pour upon them with their salah, and it's not harshness, the more they will take it further in their life, inshallah. So whatever it is for eyes, and you are want to do sunnah along, you want them to be do this or that, just be compassionate towards them. Don't feel it like a task. And then each child is different. As Sister Faiza is saying, there are some children, of course, if you do not tell them like you have to do this, they will find a way to escape all the time. And then there are children you don't need to really, say something. So it's
I
according to your
wanted to
child, their
I
temperament,
wanted
and
to
all
add
this.
something
Yes.
over here, Kurat. as Sister Faiza said about Nafal and Sunnah and Fard and all that. I can relate it to me because
Mm.
when I was quite young,
Mm.
we have got some books, many books in our home. My sister brought it from somewhere, my elder sister, and